Hi peeps! Dream Cycle has released its first early access update, the Quick Ending update, and boy does it make Dream Cycle more enjoyable to play. For those who don't already know what Dream Cycle is, it's an action-adventure game, which the devs tout as having infinite adventure. Imagine a budget Dishonored with tons of levels and a much less focus on story. It's still in early access, so there's a lot of polishing to do, but there's definitely potential here for an amazing experience. Katheria Games has done a bunch of bug fixes, tweaks, and changes, but here are the most important bits. The flow of gameplay is much better, the combat has been tweaked, the lighting update makes the levels look so beautiful, and the UI overall has a good update. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the landscape here. The lighting update really brings forth the vibrant Dreamlands and makes journeying through it that much more interesting than it did before. I'm so glad Dream Cycle has a photo mode. It can be so much fun trying to get good looking shots, and it really helps when the view is great. Unfortunately, you can definitely feel the early access here on your computer. It's clear that it's not well optimized yet. I've got poor frame rate everywhere in all kinds of levels, and the reflective surfaces need to get some help as well. When an Eidolon shows up or after you clear a level, a lot of the lighting starts to look really weird on light colored surfaces. It's like you can't see anything, almost as if you got sun glare in your eyes. Since they have added snow in many locations, this is definitely one of the things that devs will need to tweak. The devs have added a new system they're calling settlements, and it's definitely improved the flow of gameplay. Enemies used to be scattered all over, making the game feel like I was playing hide and seek all over the level. Traversal is so much fun in this game. I love scaling up cliffsides and teleporting around old building ruins, but sometimes it just kind of feels like I'm just trying to move from point A to B to C, and that isn't so much fun. What the settlement system seems to do is it seems to concentrate points of interest together so that you aren't traveling around so much and you can spend more time trying to scout and look for a good spot to ambush the enemies from, and then you can saunter on over to your chest and get your well-deserved rewards. Anyways, moving on to combat, I'm so glad that the devs decided to update the size of the weak spots. It was like trying to thread a needle through a loop in the middle of combat. Pretty darn difficult. If regular attacks weren't just so incredibly feeble compared to the mighty weak spot attacks, this wouldn't have been such an issue. I'm glad for the weak spot attacks though, it makes the combat much more interesting than just hacking away at enemies. Hopefully they continue to tune the combat though. Usually you have to get far too close to the enemies in order to hit them right now, especially when I'm right up against them, since the enemy's body covers the entire screen. You can barely tell what's going on. It gets a bit difficult to get my footing and figure out where the weak spot is. Might just be because I'm still early in the game, or maybe I just suck at the games, but the game does seem a little bit too hard at the moment. It's quite a difficulty jump from the easiest difficulty to the next difficulty level. I haven't even touched on the harder levels yet, but I get killed so easily, but the enemies feel like sponges, tanking up attacks. The normal enemies can be dealt with by some good old stealth maneuvers, but if they gang up on you, good luck. The Eidolons are a whole other ballgame too. Even after the hotfix reduced lower level Eidolon health, they feel a bit too tanky. Come on dude, just die! I'll see how this progresses, but hopefully it's just because of a lack of power on my early game character. And last but not least, I'm so glad they updated the UI. In particular, I'm very happy about how you can mark objectives now. It was such a pain having to go in and out of astral projection just to double check if I was going in the right direction. The world map also has a legend on it, which is amazing. Guesswork on what an icon means is never fun. I just wish I could zoom in and out the map though. These little squares are just so tiny. I won't go over all the minor changes, but suffice to say that if the devs continue to release great updates like this for Dream Cycle, I'm hopeful that the potential I see for this game will be met. I'm really looking forward to how Dream Cycle continues to shape up over the course of its early access phase. If you'd like a glimpse of what Dream Cycle looked like when it first launched into early access, take a look at this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and click on that video. See you next time. Bye!